Hello Aish, today we learn how to incremental data load in SSIS. For this we have required SQL Server Data Tool for Visual Studio 15 or SQL Server Data Tools or Visual Studio 2019. What steps need to follow? Let us see. Add data flow tasks in Designer and double click on it. Then we have need to add source and destination OLEDB. In between, we have also put lookup transformations and then configure three of them and then the project data will be transferred. Now we can here we understand that what is incremental load. Basically comparing the target table, destination table against the source data based on ID or date stamp or time stamps. If new record in source data, then we have to insert those records in the target table. If any updates value in source data, then we have to update those records in a target table. Consider we have a company in three different source locations, and whenever a employee will join, data will be inserted, and whenever required in like changes in some particulars, then data will be updated. In this scenario, when we add a new employee in our company, then need to also add in destinations database where our main data warehouse is reside. In whenever any changes occurs in the employee tables, then also need to update it. So for this, we have transferred free data based upon the new records and what updated we have value, then update the destinations also. So there are different type of incremental load available in SSIS. Here you can see it like lookup transformations. Second one is using CDC, chain data captures. Third one is using SCD, slowly changing dimension. And fourth one is using SQL tasks, merge statements. Here we can see only lookup transformations. Now let us see. Here lookup transformation, how can we use it to transfer the incremental data? First we need to understand what is lookup transformation. Lookup transformation is checks each record of the table in the source database against the lookup target table database in the destination table. So if a record is not found, it will be added to the target table. If a record is found, the data of the record in the target table will be replaced with the data source table, means data will be updated here. Now let us see one example with real example. Now here we can understand like our server name like desktop this one, and you may provide your database IP address or server name where your database will be reside. Now our source table like you can see here trivial employee details. In this there is employee ID, employee name and employee locations. And there is primary key constant on employee ID. Whenever you select the table, select star from table employee details, we can see there are many records in these tables. Now let us start. First, open Visual Studio 2015. Now go to File, New Project. Here you can give the project name like Incremental Data Load in SSIS through SSIS. Now click on OK button. So you can see our project will be created and our SSIS package.dtx also will be created here. Now you can see there is control flow Then we need to go here, toolbox. In toolbox, we have to data flow task, drag and drop on control data flow tasks. So you can see here data flow tasks will be added. Now need to double click on data flow tasks. I have click on it. Then again go SSIS toolbox. Now need to configure data source and destination. So here you can see other source means OLEDB data source. Drag and drop on this data flow tasks. Also need to add one destination. So these will be selected from other destinations like we have seen here OLEDB destinations. So first need to configure OLEDB data source. Now double click, go to new, click on new. Now need to put server name or database IP address. So I have put here my server name and SQL Server authentication. Usernames I have taken it, and also whatever you have put the password, set the password, you can fill it. And now select the database where from you want. Our database is test sample. Now click on OK, and then again click on OK. Now select the table name. Our table name will be table employee details, where data will be transferred from one to source to destination. So our source table name is employee details. Now click on preview so you can see the result like some records in theirs. Now click on OK. Then again go columns and you can see external columns and output column when you require add and error output. You can also see all will go fail component when it will fail. Now click on OK. So our OLEDB data source will be configured here. Now here we will incremental data transfer through the lookup. So go to lookup SSIS toolbox and common. In common you can see lookup. So drag on this lookup here. Now map to source to lookup. So I have mapped this one. Now click on lookup. So you can see here I need to cache mode full cache and connection type we need to put here OLED DB connection managers, and here it specify how to handle row with no matching entries. So in this case we will took this one, redirect rows to no match output. Now this one. Now go to connections. In connection you can see our connection is already established, and here you can put here destination table. So our destination table already you have created, so you have selected destination. Also check whether data is present now in destination table. So click on preview, so you can see column is there but no data. Now click on OK. Now go to columns. So here you can see available input, and here you can see available lookup columns. So our lookup column will be employee ID. So check this one and map this employee ID to lookup. So this column will be mapped with a available input to lookup employee ID. In bottom you can see lookup column employee ID, output lies employee ID, and when you go advanced you can see this information enable the performance of simple equijoin between the input and reference data sets. So our difference data is destination table. You can see here like select star from table imply detail destination. I have take reference table where I have searching here like reference table dot imply id which pass from the first input columns. Here you can see also you get the message like this page is not used when full cache mode is selected. So in here you have need to do nothing, and also you can see error outputs. So already defined upon error logging you can redirect row or failure or whatever, you can configure it and set it. Here only I have put here fail component. Now click on OK. Now lookup has been configured, and this lookup map to the OLEDB destination. So the source or destination component contain multiple input and outputs. Select an input and output to connect the component. So our output, what output we will need to put here? Like lookup no match outputs. And here you can see destination input and click on OK. And now also need to configure OLED destination. So click on this. You can see here there is connection already there. If destination is other database, then in that case you need to configure it. Now name of the tables of view. So we have defined here destination table. I have checked it. Destination table is already created. Now go to mapping. So you can see available input and available destination will map here. Like employee ID, go to the employee ID destinations column and employee name, location, and salary. And when you click output, so also you can configure login or fail component. So now click on OK button. So you can see here you have configured LED with data source connections. Then I have take lookup with no match outputs. If data is not present in the destination table, then we need to insert. In that case, that value will be inserted in the destination tables. So now run this application and see what will be happen. Click on start now. So you can see clearly here like this source will be success. One row transfer source to lookup. Also lookup will show the success message, and after lookup you can see no match output 11 row. Basically 11 row not present in the destination table. So that data will be transferred into destination table, implied destination. For check this, go to SQL Server and our destination table. You can see here is blank. Now I need to check it. Now select this and execute this. So you can see our destination data will be transferred from source to destinations. But now one case is here, our main is IAM is transfer data, incremental data. So for this check, we know already in implied table and destination table. Now both have 11 rows. You can see. Now I need to add two rows and see what data will full transfer or only what rows we have added, only that data will transfer. Now let us see. I have a insert statement. Now I have put here need to change the employee ID 120 and 121 because this is the primary key. So now I have added two rows more. So I have added two rows. Now select table employee details. So now from 11 to 13 rows, two rows, new rows will be two more rows will be added here, you can see, like 13 rows in source table. Now check destination table again. So there is only 11 rows and no data of employee 120 and 121. So again run these applications and check whether that data will transfer or not. So click on start. So you can see here 13 rows come from source to lookup, and from lookup only 2 rows will be inserted here. So only 2 rows means only 2 new added row will be inserted in the destinations table. So need to check in destination table whether this 2 row will be added or not. Click on execute. Now you can see 120 and 121 two record will be added. Now total 13 record in the destination table. This is one thing. Incremental data will be loaded. In some cases we have also, whenever we change name or salary, so that record will also need to update in destination table. So in that case we take go to SSIS toolbars and go to common, and that record we need to update in the destination table. So need to take here OLEB data command here and go to here. You can see two arrow, one arrow map to OLED destination, another arrow need to map to this one lookup match about, means a data which already in source also available in destination, but some record will be changed, so also need to update. So for this we have take here OLEDB command. Now go to OLEDB command and here select connection manager, choose this one. Now go to component properties. In component properties you can see here SQL command, so need to write here update command. So you can write like update trivial employee and set employee ID, need to put question mark, means for parameter. Employee name also you can put here question mark, and employee locations you can put question mark and then comma, then salary equal to question mark. Now also need to put here where condition, like where employee ID equal to question mark, means whatever parameter will come from the split lookup, from the lookup, that will be updated. So here you can see I have write a query like update destination table set employee ID, not put her employee ID because it's only need to update employee name and employee location, salary, and where employee ID. Now copy this one, go to here, and you can see this advanced editor of OLED command SQL command here. Now go to this one and put here. So now click on OK button. Then after that need to go column mapping. So you can see here parameter of available destinations available, and there is employee name, location, salary, and lookup employee ID. So what need to do? I have to map employee name, first one, then employee location, second parameters, salary, third parameters, and lookup employee ID. You can put this one to four parameters. So only resource.employee ID and click on OK. Now our lookup matchup output will be configures, and there is now I need to change some record need to change, like you can see here there is 13 rows, and here you can see like employee ID 120 I have put changes some employee name. So what you have write like employee name, and in destination table I have this Ranjan K. Now update this one and install this. I have changed the employee name like Rajan and update this execute and see the source. So 120 will be Rajan and location Mumbai. Now see the destination also, execute 120 employee ID Ranjan K. Now execute these applications through clicking on start. So when you see here like source data transfer 13 rows through lookup to lookup, and lookup in left side like lookup no match output means there is no any new records here, and when you go lookup match output there 30 rows will updated in through the OLEDB DB command. Now check again, click on this. So when we see here employee ID 120, employee name has changed Rajan and location Mumbai. So this way we achieve the incremental data load in SSIS if new record will added in source, and then when this package will be like schedules, then new record also will be added on registration table, and also we have achieved here like any changes will be made in the source columns data, then that data also will be updated in destinations. Thanks for watching my YouTube videos. If you want to more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.